Despite a win over the Cavaliers on Sunday, the Minnesota Timberwolves are, to put it lightly, underperforming so far this season. Currently sitting at the 12th spot in the West at 6-8. The Wolves are 1-6 against plus 500 teams this year. Bob, what's wrong with the Wolves?
I mean, so many times when you see a superstar or even that level caliber of player move to a team, there's going to be some transitional period, whether it be a year, whether it be the exception is LeBron, you know, like honestly, just like the greats. So if anyone thought that, oh yeah, just bring him on over, bring on Gobert, he'll fit right in, he'll mesh, and then yeah, we've got a championship level team. It's a bit of it's an idiot who would think that.
It ain't that easy.
It's not that easy. It just takes time. That's how I see it.
Justin.
I was big on the Timberwolves. I still think it can work, but the way I think it works is the Timberwolves need to look at their franchise, they need to look at everything going on, and they need to look at their future. They hemorrhaged some of their future to get Rudy Gobert.
All of their future.
They can get so much more of that future back by trading one piece, meaning get rid of Cat and get back what you can get for Cat, which is going to be a huge haul because Cat's a great player.
Wow.
And I think when you do that, the lane opens up a little bit more because what did Anthony Edwards say just a couple weeks ago? The lane's clogged. I can't dunk. Then you finally got a dunk in. So if you move that out, you're like, boom, you get some other ancillary pieces. Some people that are going to go, oh, fall in line. Because right now, I think we talked about it a little bit last season, which was it was going to be Anthony Edwards' team. It was trending toward that direction. And I think if you keep Karl-Anthony Towns there at this point in time, it's been his show for so long that you can't now ask him to go, it's not your show anymore, it's this guy's show. That'd be my take on it.
Okay, Trey.
My take on it is, when you're looking at a team that's struggling, the first thing you want to look into is the leaders, whether it's the coach or my thing I look into is their point guard. And somebody who's been struggling is D'Lo. His numbers have dropped a lot this year. They're ranked 23rd in the league in offensive rating, and their rating's 118.8 when he's off the court, and then when he comes in, it drops to 105.5. And I've watched a few of the games, and like when he's in the game, he just off a defensive rebound, he just goes and forces things. Like they have no half court offense. So I definitely look at. I think D'Lo's the problem. I think he's if you trade anybody, I think you trade him.
And
try
Trey,
to get something from
can
him.
I just add to that? Yes, D'Lo has been on the decline since the 2019-2020 season. Okay.
Yes.
And that's simply in the terms of points, which to me is contribution. And that's the difficult part is how the T-Wolves believe to move forward is to go towards the front court, when in reality it should probably be in the back court.
Yep.
Interesting that you guys are talking about D'Lo in this instance, because last night, and I realize it might be a flash in the pan, he had a 30-point, 12-assist game over the Cavs. So odd to me that he's the standout to you guys. So that's fair. I get it. And yeah, that might have been just a flash in the pan over the season. You're right, Trey. He has been underperforming. I want to go back to you, Justin, real quick. What is the right time to, if you think that trading Cat is the fix-all and the cure-all for this team, when is the right time?
Well, to be fair to the team, like Bob said, you bring in a really big piece. You got to give it some time and see kind of where we're at, what we're going with. There might just be growing pains. So we could look back at the Timberwolves in a month and they're rolling and everything looks great because they've gotten to know each other a little bit better. Maybe whatever, because there's just been weird shots taken at each other between Ant and
the
Cat.
Popeyes
Like
thing,
yeah, it's weird. So maybe they just need some time to kind of have some growing pains and figure it out. Now, I think you let that go on for maybe another month or two because by then you'll know if it's going to be good or bad. So I think in the next month, you shop Cat. Because people want Cat.
So you don't make it to the All-Star break with Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards on the same team?
No. I actually agree.
Yeah, the weird thing to me is I've always found that strange. Like if you're like, you know what, I'm going to move on. Let's just say they're like, we're going to move on from Cat. Let's wait till the trade deadline. Why?
Well, that's kind of
get it moving.
That's kind of when the fire sale happens. I understand and I agree.
I think the value goes down. I think the value is higher early. You know what I mean? Unless it's teams, I guess you could argue teams are going to overpay because they're trying to make a playoff push. But I just think get it done and figure your life out. You know what I mean?
So they give up 7 first-round picks and 4 players to give up on the combination of players that they traded for before 50 games.
They don't give up that though, because it depends on the package you get back for Cat. Because if Rudy Gobert got 5 picks, Cat's getting 4.
Okay.
At least 4 or 5.
So you're what you're doing is you're looking at it as a future play. You're not looking at it this year.
Okay. So here's the thing. Yes, they beat the Cavs last night, but they beat the Cavs without Donovan Mitchell and Jarrett Allen. 2 of their 5 starters. 2 of their probably top 3 or 4 players. They are 1-6 against plus 500 teams this year. Only the Pistons are worse, who are 0-9. Their starting 5 of D'Lo, Ant, Jaden McDaniels, Cat, and Gobert is statistically the worst 5-man lineup in the NBA right now. Dead last of any variation combination of players. That 5-man lineup has a offensive rating of 99.7. The Lakers are nearly 5 points better, and all we're talking about the Lakers' problems is offense, right?
Yep.
Defense, Twin Towers, all that, right? No, they're 14th in rebounds, 13th in blocks, 16th in steals, 19th in defense, 20th in net rating. He says it in the clip. Body language is off. Cat's leadership is questionable. You mentioned that the Popeyes thing. Ant's interest level seems to be non-existent. I mean, the play that went viral of him standing on the wing with his hands on his hips, watching the whole play, and then the other one that's I'm blanking on his name now, but the someone pointed out where Cat, they get a breakaway and it's a 2-on-2 pretty much fast break with Ant dribbling up the right wing. Cat is calling for Kevin O'Connor, calling for it. Ant doesn't pass on the ball. So Ant runs out of bounds because he was sprinting to the basket, runs out of bounds, and then Anthony passes the ball to him. Odd. The numbers I just gave you, I mean, look, 14th, 13th, 16th, 19th, 20th. It's more like the mediocrity Timberwolves. Like they're just mediocre.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what you talked about was more so the team cohering with each other and oh, wow, yeah, we're waiting for a team to do that. Well, we did see a team wait through that and then eventually get to it with the Lakers. And I'll say it, the fact that Russell Westbrook, and we had this whole conversation about, do you trade Westbrook? Do you trade Pat Bev? It's funny the connection between the Lakers and the T-Wolves here, just to be now we think, they should have traded him. Well, you wouldn't see to trade Cat miles away, but Westbrook, instant, trade him away.
I would say it would be more likely that they'd get a head coaching change before they would get a trade happen.
For sure, and I think push comes to shove, you blame the coach a lot, but if you have to pick, if your 2 superstars don't like each other, you have to pick one. I'm picking Anthony Edwards if I'm the Timberwolves because I've had enough time with Karl-Anthony Towns pushing people out.
I agree.
Tell me D'Lo's the issue.
We'll see.
D'Lo's the issue.
We'll see. I agree.
Ain't nobody calling out D'Lo in press conferences. Ain't nobody saying that.
Has he ever been the answer?
Before they traded him in Brooklyn, he was. He actually helped them a lot.
Yeah.